He thought walking every day would protect his heart. 45 minutes, same route, same hour, rain or shine. But one morning, Walter Simmons collapsed just 10 steps from his porch during his usual walk. A silent heart event. No chest pain, no warning, just gone. And here's what might shock you. He did everything right. No smoking, no alcohol, walked more than most people half his age. So what went wrong? Could it be that even walking, the simplest, safest exercise, can silently harm your heart if you're not doing it the right way? That's what today's video will uncover. Because if you're over 60, the way you walk and how much could be the difference between protecting your heart and unknowingly putting it at risk. This isn't about scaring you. It's about showing you what the science says and how to walk smart, not just walk long. Let me tell you about Walter. He was 72, a retired mechanic, widowed for almost a decade. And walking wasn't just routine. It was his way of holding on. Every step was a memory, every corner a story. But behind his steady pace, his heart was quietly struggling.
Walter Simmons lived alone in a small brick house just outside Springfield. It was the kind of house where everything had a place, not because he was neat, but because for 10 years, nothing had really changed. His wife had passed nearly a decade ago. Since then, walking became his way of filling the silence. He didn't talk about it much, but every morning, as he laced up those shoes, there was a kind of quiet ritual in it, a hello to the day and a whisper to her memory. Neighbors would see him at the same hour, same route. He'd nod, sometimes wave, always with that calm, content look. The kind of man who seemed like he had it all under control. His daughter, Emily, used to call him stubborn. "Dad, are you sure that long walk is still okay for you?" she'd ask. He'd just chuckle. "Walking's the only thing keeping me out of trouble," he'd say. And to be fair, he looked fine. No limping, no gasping, no complaints. Just that steady rhythm, one foot, then the other. Until the morning, it stopped. That day, he didn't make it back. Collapsed near the mailbox, just steps from home. The paramedics said it looked like his heart gave out suddenly. No struggle, no noise, just gone. But in the hospital, doctors found something deeper. Subtle signs that his heart had been overworked for months. Micro strains, silent fatigue. Like a machine running just a little too hard for a little too long every single day. Emily was shocked, but he walked every morning. He was doing everything right. The doctor shook his head. Sometimes, even good habits can turn dangerous if the body starts asking for rest and we don't listen. And that was the moment the question began. What if walking isn't always enough? What if, for seniors, it's not just about doing it, but doing it right? It's easy to believe walking is always good, that the more you do it, the better your heart becomes. In fact, that's what most of us have heard for decades. Walk longer, walk farther, hit 10,000 steps, push through. It feels right. It feels safe. But what if I told you that walking more doesn't always mean living longer? A massive study followed over 16,000 adults over 60.
They found that walking just 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day, not 10,000, was the sweet spot. Go higher than that, the benefits flatten. Go much higher, especially at older age, it might even backfire. No one tells you that. No one warns you that your body, especially your aging heart, needs balance, not intensity. And for some people, the silent damage builds slowly, without warning signs. You feel fine. You passed the talk test. You're not short of breath. You think, I must be doing great. But inside, your heart might be working just a little too hard. Your blood pressure might be spiking, your arteries stiffening, and you won't know until something gives out. The truth is, not all walks are created equal. Some energize the heart, some strain it quietly over time. And on the other end of the spectrum, there's another trap, thinking that short walks don't count, that unless you do 45 minutes straight, it's not worth it, that missing a day means starting over. But science shows that even 3 10-minute walks spaced throughout the day can deliver almost the same heart benefits as one long session. That's right. 15 minutes after breakfast, 10 more in the late afternoon, a final stroll after dinner. It all adds up, and your heart doesn't care if the movement came in 1 block or 3. What it does care about is rhythm, consistency, respect. Because walking is powerful medicine, but like any medicine, the dose matters. Too little won't help. Too much can quietly wear you down. And unless we understand that balance, we're walking with blindfolds on.
Every time you walk, even just for a few minutes, your heart gets a message. It's time to move. Let's open the valves. Let's pump a little faster. Let's get oxygen to the muscles. And your body responds. Your arteries widen. Your blood pressure gently lowers. And your heart starts to beat with a little more rhythm and a little less strain. For older adults, that's not just exercise, that's therapy. Studies show that regular walking can lower the top number of your blood pressure, the systolic number, by as much as 10 points. That's the same as taking a low-dose blood pressure pill, but without the side effects. And it doesn't stop there. With time, walking trains your heart to do more with less. Your resting heart rate, the number of times your heart beats when you're sitting still, begins to drop. And that's a good thing. It means your heart is stronger. It's more efficient. It doesn't have to work as hard to do the same job. Think of it like a well-tuned car engine. Same speed, less fuel, less wear and tear. Walking also helps with something most people never think about: inflammation. As we age, our bodies carry more chronic inflammation, even without us feeling it. And inflammation is one of the biggest hidden threats to heart health. But walking reduces it. Gently, gradually, day by day. It also helps balance cholesterol, raising the good kind, lowering the bad kind. And it keeps blood sugar in check after meals. It's one of the few things that helps everything without hurting anything, if done right. Because the aging heart It's not the same as a 30-year-old's. Its walls are stiffer, its rhythm more delicate, its tolerance lower. It can still grow stronger, but only when respected. And that's the piece many people miss. They see walking as automatic, but your heart sees it as a conversation. It's listening to your pace, to your breath, to your stress, to your limits. And if we learn to listen back, we give it exactly what it's been needing all along. For years, people have thrown around one magic number. 10,000 steps. 10,000 steps a day to stay healthy. That's what your fitness tracker says. That's what the pamphlets say. That's what we're told. But do you know where that number came from? Not from medical science, but from a marketing slogan created in Japan back in the 1960s. It stuck, but it doesn't fit everyone, especially not aging hearts. The truth is, recent studies have painted a clearer, more compassionate picture. If you're in your 60s or 70s, you don't need 10,000 steps. You don't even need 8,000. The sweet spot for heart protection, somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 steps a day. And for those over 70, even 4,000 to 6,000 steps can make a world of difference. A large-scale study published in JAMA Cardiology in 2022 confirmed it. Beyond that 8,000-step mark, the benefits begin to level off. More walking doesn't necessarily mean more heart health. And in some cases, especially with joint issues or chronic fatigue, it could do more harm than good. But what if you're not counting steps? You don't need a fancy watch or app. Time works just as well. Roughly 30 to 45 minutes of walking a day, even broken up into smaller pieces, is enough to lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and help regulate your heart rhythm. That could be 3 short walks after meals, or one morning stroll before the day gets hot. The point isn't to hit a number, it's to build a rhythm your heart can rely on. And you don't need to walk every single day, but walking 5 days a week, that's powerful. Walking every day, even just 20 minutes, even better. Because your heart doesn't care if you took 3,000 or 9,000 steps. It cares that you moved, that you breathed, that you showed up again today. And if you're dealing with high blood pressure or recovering from a heart issue, sometimes those small walks after meals, just 10 or 15 minutes, can make the biggest impact. You don't have to push, you don't have to strain. You just have to move with care.
So, you know how much to walk. Now the question becomes, how do you make it part of your life? Not just for a week, not just when the weather is nice, but every day in a way that feels natural, comforting, and safe. The good news is, you don't need a perfect schedule, just a simple rhythm that fits your world. For many seniors, mornings are best when the air is cool, the streets are quiet, and the day hasn't yet filled with chores or appointments. But for others, late afternoon walks, after a nap, or before dinner are the golden hour. Especially after a meal, when a light stroll can help lower blood sugar, and smooth your heartbeat. The real secret: don't wait for motivation. Build a habit instead. Start with small anchors. Walk after your tea. Walk when the birds come out. Walk when your favorite radio show ends. Just something consistent. And don't worry if you can't go far. Some of the most powerful heart protection comes from 3 short walks spread across the day. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. It all adds up, and your heart doesn't keep score in miles. It remembers the rhythm. Of course, shoes matter more than we think. Choose soft, supportive footwear. Nothing too tight, nothing that slides. You don't need athletic sneakers, just something that respects your knees, your balance, your toes. And where you walk matters too. Avoid uneven sidewalks if your balance isn't what it used to be. Indoor malls, flat garden paths, or even laps around your own living room can be surprisingly effective. And yes, tools help. A step counter can motivate. A reminder alarm on your phone or watch can nudge you. Even writing down how many minutes you walked and how you felt afterward can build momentum. But what matters most is how you feel. If you walk and feel refreshed, you're on the right track. If you walk and feel dizzy, strained, or breathless, that's your body saying, let's slow down. Because walking isn't about proving anything. It's about connecting with your breath, your pace, and the quiet strength inside you. One gentle step at a time. Her name is Mary Thompson, 68 years old, former teacher, grandmother, and just a few years ago, someone who dreaded walking even across the living room. After retirement, things slowed down. The weight crept in, her knees hurt more, she'd get tired brushing her hair. And then came the doctor's words she'll never forget. You're in early stage heart failure. It felt like the room shrank around her. She was given medications, of course, but Mary wasn't the kind of person to just sit and wait. So she asked, what else can I do? And the answer was simple and familiar. Walk. But this time, do it with intention. So she started small, 10 minutes after breakfast, then 10 more after lunch. She set a kitchen timer, laced up her old sneakers, and shuffled down her driveway, one day at a time. Some days she didn't go far. Some days she only walked in circles inside the house. But she kept going. Within 3 months, Mary was up to 35 minutes a day. Not fast, not far, but steady, calm, kind to her body. Her husband joined her on weekends. They called it their heart hour, a time not just to move, but to reconnect, without phones, without noise. 6 months later, the change was undeniable. She'd lost nearly 20 pounds. Her resting heart rate dropped. She no longer felt winded doing the laundry or gardening. Her cardiologist looked at her scans and smiled. You're stable. No signs of decline. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. But the most powerful change, Mary began to feel proud of her body again. Not because it was perfect, not because it was fast, but because it was hers, and it was still strong enough to carry her forward. And she'll tell you, it all started with one quiet walk. That first morning, she said, not giving up yet. You don't need to walk fast. You don't need to walk far. You just need to keep walking with love for your own heart. Because this simple act of moving your feet, lifting your gaze, breathing in the air, it's not just exercise. It's a quiet rebellion against aging on autopilot. It's your way of saying, I'm still here, I still matter, and I still have more to live. If you're over 60, your heart isn't finished yet. It's listening every day to the choices you make. And when you walk, even just a little, you're telling it, I choose to keep going. And if you're watching this for someone you love, a parent, a spouse, a dear friend, walk with them. Be the reason they step out that door. Be the rhythm in their day. Because sometimes the most powerful medicine is not taken alone. So start today, not to reach 10,000 steps, not to impress anyone, but to honor your heart, the one that's carried you through decades of joy, pain, love, and change. Let it carry you a little longer. And if this message spoke to you, please share it. You never know who needs that first gentle push to take their first quiet step.